Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to the first episode of Market Outlook. This is a new series on my channel where each week after the market close, I'll go over kind of the current state of the market and also go over how my weekly watch list picks from the previous week played out. So I hope you guys enjoy this new series, and my goal for this is kind of to analyze a couple different factors from Investors Business Daily, from wishingwealthblog.com, and from the actual price data, and then determine from those factors whether or not it's time to scale back exposure and manage risk, or whether it's time to get more aggressive. So the first thing we're going to be analyzing is what Investors Business Daily is saying about the market. So currently their market trend is listed as a market in confirmed uptrend, which is a really positive sign. And their little blurb right here says the NASDAQ and S&P 500 clears resistance at the 50-day moving averages, and many leading stocks are breaking out. So that is certainly a positive sign. And also their IBD big picture is calm settles over the stock market, buying time for bulls. So let's go ahead and read this article and kind of give you an overview of what they're saying. So essentially they're saying that there's less volatility right now. Powell is saying some positive things about the economy, no recession, and they have a list of a couple leading stocks that are breaking out, and you can see that Twitter and OLED were both on our weekly watch list for last week, so that's awesome. And overall, it's just a positive sentiment from IBD regarding the market trend. Now going on to wishingwealthblog.com, which the link to that will be in the description below. You can see that last Wednesday, the GMI signal was on the verge of turning green, and its GMI score was 4 out of 6. And then with a strong close to the week, it actually did ultimately turn green. So that kind of confirms that the market is in a short-term uptrend. First, taking a look at the major indexes, let's analyze the QQQ. And you can see that this past Friday, it gapped up on above average volume here, which is a positive sign. And although it did close lower on Friday, it was constructive because you can see that the volume was a lot less than the day before when it increased. So that's definitely a positive sign, and hopefully it can continue to breach the new highs that it set in early August. So yeah, positive signs from the QQQ. Moving on to the SPY, you can see a very similar story, and actually almost more positive, because on that Friday it ultimately closed higher than the day before. So very similar, both of them were above their 30-day moving averages now for 3 straight closes, which is very positive as well. And hopefully we'll see this 10-week moving average move above the 30-week moving average, as you can see in kind of these uptrends right here and here. So look for that, and that would definitely be even more indicators that the market is recovering and in a uptrend. Finally, taking a look at the Russell 2000 index, you can see that its overall chart is a lot weaker than both the SPY and the QQQ, because it never actually breached the highs that it set in late 2018. So hopefully this time around, the mid-cap stocks will be joining the uptrends of the tech stocks and the overall market, and that would provide a better environment for trading, I believe. So hopefully it continues to move up and actually closes again over this 30-day moving average, and creates a sustained uptrend. Now that we've covered how the major indexes are doing and the overall market trend, I want to take some time now and analyze how each of my picks from last week did over the trading week. So first, we can see that 7 out of the 11 stocks that I did pick finished in the green. So from the open of the week to the close of the week, they gained value. And you can see that 3 of them, Twitter, OLED, and ACGL, actually increased over 5% in a shortened trading week, which definitely shows institutional interest and a positive sign for holding them longer. From the stocks that actually lost value, we have AWR, NSSC, and SEDG. And NSCC, I didn't realize was going through earnings, and it dropped a lot on earnings, but there wasn't a good entry point before that, so I think that's fine. It was still a good stock to watch. ARWR, as we'll see when we look at the technicals, just kind of lost a lot of value on volume, and we'll take a look at that later. SEDG wasn't quite ready to come out of the descending flag that it's currently in. And as I said, in TC2000, we'll take a look at that closer in just a second. And finally, the only other stock that lost value was BLD, and it barely lost anything. So I'm still going to be looking at this stock and potentially having it on my watch list for the upcoming week. And that should be coming out later today. So be on the lookout for that video as well. So jumping into TC2000, we're going to go through each of these stocks one by one and look at their charts, both daily and weekly, so we can kind of analyze what their current trend is and whether or not they should stay on my weekly watch list. So first, looking at ACGL, which is one of my good stocks from this week, you can see that it's been increasing on volume recently and has increased well after this green dot indicator. So definitely a positive sign. Looking at the weekly chart for ACGL, you can see that it's in a sustained uptrend and is actually a yellow band stock with the closing price above the 10-week moving average, which is above the 30-week moving average. And if you don't know what a yellow band stock is, there'll be a recommend video right now, and I highly recommend you watch this because it's a very powerful pattern and you can easily use the criteria to sort and find stocks that are in excellent runs just like ACGL. Now looking at ARWR, which is one of our biggest losers for this week, you can see that it dropped a lot last Thursday, and I will not be keeping this on my weekly watch list because you can see that it dropped on significant volume. So it will have to recover and form another base before I would consider investing in it. Now taking a look at BLD, you can see that it's been in a very sustained uptrend since early January, which is a very strong pattern. But this last week, it kind of just oscillated back and forth, and it seems like it's in the middle of forming a base right here. So what I'm going to do is wait for volatility to decrease as well as volume, and then wait for it to break out above the high that it set around here. On the weekly chart, you can see the clear uptrend, but also the recent weeks of kind of going flat. Taking a look now at CSGP, you can see it's kind of having a VCP setup with less price volatility and also a decrease in volume as well. So we could look for a breakout early next week, and I would wait until it is increasing on significant volume. So this is still a stock to definitely be keeping track of. On the weekly chart, we can also see that this is a yellow band stock with its price above the 10-week moving average, which is above the 30-week moving average. So it's definitely in a strong uptrend. Taking a look at IFI, you can see that it was forming a flat base here and then kind of suffered with the recent market weakness. But then as the market has turned around, it is increasing once again. So hopefully it will continue to increase on volume and kind of break out above its recent high, which is about 66 and change. On the weekly chart, you can see that it is a very strong stock. Its price is above the 10-week, which is above the 30-week. Now taking a look at LSCC, you can see that after the gap up on earnings, it's kind of moved sideways and consolidated, which is a constructive pattern. I actually bought shares, I think, on this Thursday, and hopefully it continues to increase on volume into early next week. Looking at the weekly chart, you can see that it is also a yellow band stock. Its price is above the 10-week, which is above the 30-week. And also just taking a look at this trend, you can see that since early January, it has already increased 170%. And as Darvis would say, if you want to find a stock that's going to double, look for one that's already doubled. So that's definitely the case with LSCC. Now taking a look at Northrop Grumman, you can see that it is also kind of consolidating right now with the recent market weakness. So hopefully it will continue to push upwards on increased volume. On the weekly chart, we can also see that it is a yellow band stock, as basically all of these are, with its price above the 10-week, which is above the 30-week. Now taking a look at NSCC, you can see that it dropped on earnings this past Tuesday and has not recovered. So this will definitely not be on our watch list for the upcoming week. Now taking a look at OLED, it is breaking out of this flat base right here. And I actually invested in this stock last week. So this was definitely one of the most promising fundamental and technical setups from my watch list last time. And it has broken out on volume. You can see this significant increase on volume right here. So hopefully into next week and over the next couple weeks as well, it will continue to increase and gain value. And on the weekly chart of OLED, you can see the sustained uptrend it's been in since January, and also the uptick in volume compared to the recent weeks. And you can clearly see the price increase that it's been in. So hopefully, as I said, it continues to gain value. And now taking a look at SolarEdge, you can see that after its huge gap up on earnings, it has been consolidating and actually decreasing a little bit but this is a constructive pattern. And recently it's been breaking this lower Bollinger Band here, so it looks like it's about ready to bounce up and continue to increase volume. So because of its promising fundamentals, this will probably be on my watch list for the next week. And taking a look at Solar Edge on the weekly chart, you can see this huge run up it's had, and also that it is a yellow band stock with its price above the 10-week, which is above the 30-week. And finally, here we have Twitter, and this is also one that I invested in last week, I believe, on this day. And you can see that it's breaking out of this consolidation, and although it isn't near new highs, I hope to see it increase on its great fundamentals, especially its latest EPS reported earnings. So that just about wraps up my weekly watch list, episode 1. And I hope you guys are enjoying this series, and let me know down in the comments what you think, because I know it definitely helps me to go over and analyze my trades each and every week, because it helps you identify what you're doing wrong and ways to improve. So I thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave a like down below if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in future videos.